Welcome to Kimbolton, everybody, for the build-up show preview for this weekend's Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championships. My name is Andrew. I'll be with you for probably about the next half an hour, taking you through all the news, all the gossip from out on circuit, and what we're expecting ahead of what is event 7 for this year's Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championships. Miami Water Swift, they've just completed one of their timed practice sessions, and the first thing that you can probably tell from the look of the drivers as they're coming in off circuit, it is hot. The British summer is suddenly back again. It was quite cool. It was quite nice last weekend at Kart Masters at PF International. Now we're back into probably the mid-20s today, and it's going to get hotter across the course of the weekend. So whilst it's not a double header for the Miami categories, just the single header this weekend, still going to be very, very physical for the drivers and teams. First of all, though, we're going to head in that direction and talk KZ2. Very, very big weekend for KZ2. This is their last round of the season, so for the first time in 2025 we are going to be talking about championship permutations. We're going to be talking about who can be on top, who is going to be able to take away the number 1 plate for 2026, and it is pretty much winner takes all. If we just go through your scores on the doors, Ollie Stewart, he's your championship leader on 372. It is a Jade Racing 1-2 at the moment with Ella Stevens. I've done the points, the spreadsheets are all set up. Pretty much if either of them do a clean sweep through this weekend, they are going to take the title. And you've also got the likes of Charlie Turner and Miles Murphy still involved. I'm also very glad to say that we've got more KZ2s here this weekend. Let's head on in and have a little bit of a chat as well. Let's see if Isaac Smith is up for a little chat. First time we've seen Isaac in Wera Tools British Champs action this year. Isaac, how's it been out there today?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on the gold kart for a little while, having a play on that. Back to the Birrell, so I'm learning. It's a whole new frame and different things on this kart, so it's what all the Jade lot are running. So I'm just trying to dial it in, and yeah, we're getting there.
Kim's always a popular circuit for the KZ2s. It's always had a very strong KZ2 scene. What's some of the secrets to going well around here?
It's just consistency really around here. I mean, it's all high speed, isn't it? It's not a slow track, you know what I mean? I won the K plate last year here, so I know a little bit about here. Coming back from racing cars for numerous years, it's been hard to actually get back in a car and be used to it. It's completely different.
As a wild card this weekend, obviously for some of the other drivers next door, they've got a championship to think about this weekend. Do you think that's an opportunity for you to kind of mix it up a little bit and be a bit aggressive out there?
Yeah, definitely. I think we have the pace, to be honest with you. Once I get this right, I've tried something, it didn't work in the last session, so it was a little bit slow, but I think this should be the key to unlocking the speed. So I think we might be up there for a podium, we'll see.
Good stuff. Isaac, have a good weekend out there, and yeah, really good to see. Thanks for the time here for some of the drivers. As I say, more KZ2s. I think we've got 21 on the entry at the moment. Let's head on down. I'll actually very quickly catch Ella Stevens, if that's okay. Ella, very quickly, big weekend, championship on the line. How are you feeling?
I'm a bit nervous, but I'm very excited for the weekend.
Pace looked good through FP3 and FP4. You know, you were lap record holder around here as well. What have you been working on in this heat as well? It's gone very hot again.
I really enjoy the heat in racing, so I'm just making the most of it.
And got those starts all right?
I don't want to speak too soon.
Good stuff. I'll let you go. Thanks for talking to us, Ella. So Ella Stevens also is holding the E plate again. So Ella retained that at Shennington a few weeks ago during the Super Prix. So if she can continue that form on, she's looking pretty good. But as I say, with the points the way they are, Oliver Stewart, if he wins the round, if there's 2-point scoring stages across the course of the weekend, it's then best 6 scores out of 8 across the whole season. If Oliver Stewart takes the clean sweep, there is nothing any of the other drivers can do. Likewise on the flip, if Ella Stevens takes a clean sweep of the weekend, there's nothing any of the other drivers can do. And if it's a mix, well, that's what we have the spreadsheet for, and all the points ramifications. More racing, more racing. The number 1 of Josh Price is back in action, was fastest in FP3, a 34.98 for last year's champion. That is the fastest time that we've seen in KZ2 so far this weekend. Miles Murphy as well could be champion at the end of the weekend, and I think that's a big part of why you've got more of a presence of the team here this weekend, to see if they can do a little bit of helping for the Demon Tweaks number 5 and get it further up the order. Miles, very quickly, real breakthrough last time in round number 3. Felt like you were back to your best. How are you feeling ahead of this weekend?
I'm feeling all right. I mean, we have a super duper outside chance of winning it, but I need to basically get 65, so just go out there and just see what it is, have some fun, see where we end up.
Well, I say I've been doing some of the points ramifications as well. It's yes, you're a little bit further back, but with how close it is, I think everyone's going to be in that mindset, aren't they, that they need to go out on an attack this weekend. Nobody can really afford any points losses.
I mean, especially up and down the grid, for all the numbers, it's very, very tight everywhere. I know for the overall 1 plate, Ollie's in a very, very good position, him and Ella. I think the only other person that can beat them two is me. I think Charlie's just 1 or 2 down on drops, so that's calculated it wrong. But yeah, it's just see where we end up, have some fun at the end of the day, see where we are, and see if you go to the fancy dinner at the end of the year, I guess.
And qualifying as well. I remember Jake being quite quick in this awning last year as well. Does that give you good confidence that good amount of data to carry over and have that pace at the start of the weekend?
Well, mate, in this order, Josh has been rapid pretty much every time he's been out. When we did the pre-event meeting here a couple of weeks ago, so Josh won every race and I was second every race. So I need to turn that around and get a bit more pace in there. But there's so many quick people here. Like Ella's been like super quick all the time. Ollie's always quick. Jess Egg has been really quick so far. Derek Morgan's well, always so quick. And you've got like likes of Jimmy. He's not even here today. No, he could do 0 tests and he's always going to put in the front 2 rows. So it's just so competitive out there. You just got, if you leave an inch, you'll lose like 2 or 3 rows.
How will you keep things calm between now and the races?
Just go out there and enjoy it. Let's not getting too stressed about it. I mean, that's coming from me. Honestly, it's like I'm being one of the older ones here. It's a bit easier to say that from my aspect. And when you got the likes say that you got like the Ella and Ollie, like it'll do a lot more for them to win it rather than me. So I think I can take it a bit more relaxed and just see if it comes my way. And if it doesn't, it is what it is.
Good stuff. Miles, best of luck, mate. Hope to see you doing well out there. Thanks for the time. Thanks for talking to us. Good to see what's going on here in the Moor Racing awning. Just to go over some of the other stories. So Miles was P8 in FP3 and FP4 today. Morgan Porter back as well. We should mention Morgan Porter as a wild card. Could be a real force to be reckoned with from that team here this weekend. We'll stay with KZ2 because, as I say, this is pretty much where all of the KZ2s are. Apart from that, I will just briefly cut off from KZ2 to talk Margaris Kvetskis on the Apollo kart. We didn't get to talk to Margaris last week during Kart Masters, but he had a very good run. Margaris straight back into British Champs action, but I think it didn't end your way, Kart Masters last week, but it was still a very positive weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a big learning curve for the team. You know, we were just learning things. We didn't really expect anything, so it was quite nice.
And still on the new chassis as well, sticking with that one?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's really, I like it, I love it.
What's different about this one? So for those not aware, this is now the first Apollo 950. Previously we kind of termed it as the Zip Apollo. This is a brand new design from the Apollo team. Without going into the secrets, what's different about it compared to what you were running, say, 6 weeks ago?
It's a lot faster. I think when you get it in its sweet spot, it's down the road, yeah, it's really quick. But it takes a while to get used to, yeah.
And round here, here's a bit of a different beast of a circuit to PF International, especially those long straights and the sweeping corners. How are you dealing with that in terms of setup?
I'm not going to go into too much detail about the setup, but I will say it's going a lot better than PF.
Good stuff. We'll leave you to it, and we'll see you out there, Margaret. Best of luck as well to all the Apollo team up at Teesside this weekend. Some good friends of mine up there for a big race meeting. As I say, it was a shame we couldn't see them last week during Kart Masters, but keep an eye on that 152. It's looking to run really well. Ryan Green, the number 9, P10 in FP3, could be on for a solid weekend, trying to hold on, of course, to one of these single-digit plates. That's for those not aware. If you finish in the top 10 of a British Championship, you then earn the right to hold, or you run that number. So for Ryan last year was 9th in the championship. We'll be looking to at least secure 9th again, if not move a little bit higher. Ryan, how's practice been today? It's been a bit of a hot one.
It's been a hot one. It's been a slow start for us. We were at the club race here last month and we were the fastest come the end of it. Struggled a little bit this morning, but we got a few days to get into the rhythm. We only really need to find a pace by about middle of tomorrow, so trying a few things out. Hopefully by the time we get there, we'll be on it.
A circuit that a lot of the KZ2 community know really well as well. I think this is the 4th year in a row there's been a round of the KZ2 British Championships here at Kimbolton. Is that a help or a hindrance in a way?
Well, it's one of the best tracks on the calendar, so it's a help. We don't want to go to tracks that are too small and a bit too twisty. Kimbolton's great, so you get to really open it up down some of these middle speed sections. It's nice and flowing. The lap times are going to be super close because it's so flowing. There's only really maybe 2 or 3 big stops on the track. So where at other tracks you might have let's say pluck numbers out of the sky, you might have half a second between pole and 10th. Here you might only have 2 tenths. You know, if you're a 10th off, that's sort of 2 tenths at every other track. So it's going to be super close. Little things make a difference, like weight. If you're too far overweight, that's going to be a problem. So it's just about pulling everything together, hooking it up at the right time in qualifying. There's obviously no pre-final for the KZ as well. So for us, qualifying well and having 2 good heats is going to be critical.
Absolutely, Ryan. Thanks for your time. Really good insight there, and that's why we're looking forward to KZ2 so much this weekend, because it is going to be very, very close. We're going to stick with KZ2 again because we're just coming up to the next of our awnings. It is, of course, the Jade Racing team. We've already talked to Ella Stevens earlier on in the show. Ollie Stewart, of course, is in this awning as well and is your championship leader. Just to go over the performance of the Jade Racing team so far today, 2nd and 1st for Ella across FP3 and FP4. In terms of time to Josh Price, 0.03 was the gap for Stevens in that 3rd practice session, the first one where we had the transponders on. Jess Edgar could have a really, really big role to play here this weekend in terms of championship. Building the pace throughout the course of the season so far, looking pretty quick earlier today as well, in the top 3 in both of the transponder on timed sessions that we've had so far this weekend. Ollie Stewart, as I say, in the zone. I'll leave him in the zone. We'll maybe have a little bit of a chat with Ollie later. Is leading the championship going into things, and again has been on really, really good form and has got that elements of what some drivers like it, some drivers don't. He's obviously got the scores already locked in, 6 solid scores already from the 3 rounds that we've had. So he's trying to just improve on those 4ths, those 3rds that he had earlier on in the season. He can go and attack this weekend, which is maybe, a different way of looking at it for other teams, for other drivers who know, they've already got a 10th, a 9th on their scorecard that they need to improve on as the weekend goes on. Charlie Turner's kart there. Charlie Turner has a very good record round here. So yes, his point situation is a little bit difficult for moving up from 3rd in the championship at the moment. But Charlie's great record, I think he's been on the podium here the last 3 years. So that is something to definitely keep an eye on. Very big presence, of course, for the IPK and Rush Performance team here this weekend. Just to go over some of their performances from earlier on in the day. Ash Lewis looking pretty quick, 4th and 5th for Ashley in the free practice sessions earlier on today. And as I say, this Formula K product. The team have been working on it a lot over the course of the season. This is where all of that work will start to come together, I feel. And again, on a circuit that everybody knows well, this could be the point which they break through. Right, just going to quickly check that I've not missed anything big KZ2 wise. We'll put KZ2 a little bit on the back burner for now. Let's have a little chat with João Castro. I don't think we've had a chat with João so far this year on one of our build-up shows. João, last weekend Kart Masters didn't quite go your way, but the pace seems to be coming along here on the Praga machine.
Yeah, of course, Kart Masters, obviously we had the pace to be top 14 in the final, but obviously some luck didn't go away with the starter motor failing before the rapid charge, only 4 minutes before the grid closed. So luckily we got an artificial starter from one of the other teams to make it out the pit lane. But yeah, I mean, today our pace looks very well. Everyone's very close, 6 tenths between everyone. So we'll see. The chassis is a bit bent right now, so we're going to put it in the jig tonight, and then we'll see how the pace is tomorrow.
How did you get involved with the IPK team and on the Praga?
Well, they started following me on my social medias, and I was like, because I was still looking for teams back then, and then I just decided to do a test day with them, and I felt like a good chassis, and I just started racing with them.
And moving up to seniors this year as well, how have you found that?
Obviously, big challenge. Obviously, Warden Law was my first time in a senior, first time at Warden Law. But I think the pace is looking really good. Our progress throughout the year has been very good. So we'll see what next year comes.
Good stuff, João. Thanks for talking to us, and best of luck for this weekend. I think we can just about skip out this way, and yeah, let's moving on. Man, that cable, Piers. That can trip somebody up. How did João do today? 22nd and 21st, but as he mentioned, really close in seniors. As we have a little watch here, just over the fence of the juniors heading out for one of their practice sessions. So apologies, juniors. We're probably not going to be able to talk to them that much in this session. Let's actually talk fuller about Senior X30. We talked about KZ2 in their championship scenario. Not final round for the X30 classes, but I think it is still a very, very key one, because it's this stage of the season where they get to a full championship complement of scores, as it said. When we get to Wilton Mill for the final doubleheader, they'll be in that mode of, right, what did I do earlier on in the season? Where did I not have a good day? What do I need to improve on? Whereas this weekend, it's about maximising that performance to reduce the pressure on a driver going into that final weekend of the season. So, as I say, by the end of this weekend, everyone who's done a full season, that is, will have 14 scores from the 14 that they could pick up. And then it's best 14 from 18 scores when we get to the end of the season. Little chat about Croc, how have they been getting on? Oliver Meek, 15th and 10th in the sessions, obviously out at the moment in the juniors, and definitely keep an eye on them in terms of their seniors. Gabriel Stilp has been knocking on the door for a big result for the last month, basically. Fastest in FP3, fastest time of anyone in the seniors so far today, a 39.96, and then second in FP4. Lewis Bird, back in Croc colours, of course, a double top 3 in his FP performances today. So the Crocs are looking really, really quick round here. So we'll look forward to seeing their performance. As I say, we've not given you that rundown of Senior X30, how their championship is looking at the moment. It is close. If you weren't with us for that finale at PF International for the last British Championships round, what a final it was. Gus Lawrence has a 1-point lead heading into this weekend ahead of Freddie Lloyd. Freddie Lloyd, of course, took the checkered flag on the road last week at Kart Masters, but then had a 5-second penalty. We won't see the GP plate this weekend because Fred Green just doing the big single event races in karting this year. Harrison Whitcomb back from the FIA Karting Academy Trophy. He is third on 7.12. Harrison Mackie on 7.03. as we start to talk about drop scores as well, do not forget about Harrison Mackie. He had a bad GYG round earlier on in the season. He'll be looking to clear that off his scorecard when we get to Wilton Mill, especially if he has a good one here. So those are your key runners, as I say, in Senior X30. Let's talk a little bit about Evolve Motorsport. Unfortunately, the Bluebird's not here at the moment. I was wanted to have... He's coming soon. Okay. So they're just at scrutineering at the moment, but just to give you a rundown of how the Evolve's got on, P6 for Ollie West earlier on today, and a top 10 and a P1 in that last session.
Been here before. Yeah, P1, really happy, never been here before. So he's battered the sim this week. We're still the Bluebird because I couldn't be bothered changing the sticker kit. And but it's been a really, do you know what, the atmosphere's been lovely today, hasn't it? Yeah. So I think that's rubbed off on him a little bit, and he's been nice and cool and calm and relaxed, and worked extremely well with Henry, his good friend, Henry Clark. And yeah, I think we put a bit of a statement on there. Don't want to disturb anyone about it, but it was my third best engine.
Do you think you might keep the Bluebird livery on if it keeps going on like this?
Maybe. I mean, Chris from Kart Picks has put a journalist onto us who's doing some work on Bluebird. I mean, the whole point of it was to raise awareness of Donald Campbell, because nobody knows him. I mean, you ask around the paddock, nobody's heard of him, and I think that's really sad. Yeah. So, I mean, people with the spirit Donald Campbell have, is probably the early days of why people like us are here, we're into speed and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, the Ruskin Museum's been in touch. They've been in touch with the Lake Loom Museum, who've got probably a much bigger collection, to be fair. So the Ruskin Museum has the Bluebird K7, and the Lake Loom Museum has all the cars and boats that they use, that Malcolm and Donald. They're great places to visit, and so I think, speed records, engineering, it's just an interesting thing for children to learn about, isn't it?
I couldn't agree more, particularly the K7. It's a brilliant story if you've not heard about it. I say it sank, because that's sadly how Donald Campbell lost his life, and was then pulled from the bottom of Coniston Water, I want to say around 2001?
2001. So if you look on Lucas' Kart later, it's got a little plaque on it, and that was sent to us by Gina Campbell. And we've also got a Mr. Woppet, which was sent to us by the museum. But the plaque that's on it is the same plaque that goes on every Bluebird vessel. Yep. So it's officially a Bluebird vessel now. But the Coniston thing, it was at the bottom of the lake from 67 to 2001. They've rebuilt it, and it's actually going to go back on Coniston Water next year, where they're going to do another run. And having looked at it, I don't think I'd do that, but because it's just a mass of water until 150 mile an hour, then it hydroplanes, and then it just looks, sublime, doesn't it? So that's something to look forward to next year.
Absolutely, and we'll look forward to Luca out on circuit this weekend. Thanks for talking to us. As I say, it is a fascinating story. I feel kind of old in a way, talking about 2001. I was about the same age as Luca is now when the Bluebird was found and pulled from Coniston Water. Right, let's move back into the karting world. Alan Kenyon here this weekend. And I'd say really good to see a good number of runners that we haven't seen previously this season in KZ2. I'm just trying to find where Alan finished, 12th and 15th across the two sessions that we've seen so far. Right, we're going to try and speed things up a little bit here. We've got Excel Motorsport next, just round our corner to the left. I wonder, is there a little gap that we can just hop through for Excel Motorsports instead of having to go all the way around the back of the awning? There might be, there might not. I think this is where I'll have a little bit of a rundown and see if we can... Yes, there's a gap, Piers. We can find a way through here to have a little talk about all things Excel. I think it's going to be fairly quiet at the moment. We've got some of the Water Swifts back in. LBJ Stubbs, fastest of anybody in the Miami Water Swift Restricted, which is not a massive surprise. Of course, he's been having a very good season. Bodie Batch as well up there into the Water Swift categories. A little bit off the pace last weekend at Kart Masters. It was really the Fusion show in Miami Water Swift. Maybe still just trying to find a little bit of pace today as well. I think the best of their efforts was George House, a P9 in FP3. Oh, apologies, Johnson Stewart got a P6 P7 in FP4. We'll actually have a little chat with Johnston if that's okay. Johnston, how's the practice been going today? I was just having a little quick look at the results. FP4 looked pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the energy chassis working for me, and purple sector 2 of course, and I got purple sector 2 the session before as well. I just need to fix 1 and 3.
Out of 10, how would you rate the season so far?
6.
Why a 6?
I've had ups and downs during the year. Like in the Euro Series, I've been up there, and then over here, I've been up and down.
And going into Kimbolton this weekend, it's got its differences, hasn't it, as a circuit? Lots of slipstreaming around here.
Yeah, it's a pretty hard track. It's really fast.
Is that where some of your experience in Europe might pay, quite well for you this weekend? Because similarly, I'm thinking some of the tracks that we race around in Italy and Spain, they tend to be quite fast and with long straights as well.
Yeah, like Wera has one of the longest straights I've ever been to.
What would be a good result for you? What were you aiming for at the end of the weekend?
Top 5.
Top 5. Well, we'll see if you can do it. Thanks for your time, Johnston. Thanks for talking to us. And yeah, say P7 earlier on today in FP4. That's not a million miles away from that top 5. Other bits to note, as say George House running in the top 5 in the championship at the moment. Didn't run at Kart Masters last week, so could be a little bit fresher in a way than some of the other drivers who will still be feeling the effects of battle, as it were. Colby Patterson had a good run, of course, at Kart Masters last week. Apologies, actually, yeah, Colby Patterson, the best positioned of the Excel Motorsport drivers so far in the free practices. 7th in the first one with timers on, and then 6th in the second one. Right, let's move on. Let's move on up to Mick Barrett. Actually, we'll give you a bit of a further rundown of how things are looking in Water Swift as a whole. Very close. It's going to go all the way, this one. Austin Newstead has a lead of 719 to 699 at the moment, but all the other drivers have had at least one kind of round. So again, I think the scores are all going to start converging as we get towards the end of the season. Austin Gibson, of course, did the double last time at PF International, so he's on a rich run of form. George Clark as well, P4. Alfie Davidson was very, very quick in FP3 earlier on today, so Alfie a little bit further down the order, but we see this sometimes. We saw this actually from Austin Gibson last year. He came across as the restricted champion into the full category. It took him a few rounds to not necessarily find the speed. He always had the speed, but get the look and develop in the racecraft. I just have a feeling that I think Alfie Davidson could have that kind of weekend here this weekend. Had that remarkable run, of course, last weekend at Kart Masters. Was one of 2 Fusion Motorsports drivers with crash damage, and the incredible job that Fusion Motorsport did to get both of those drivers simply back out on the circuit. If you haven't seen it, go and watch back. Alpha Live have put all of the Kart Masters Grand Prix races in each race as its own video. If you want to go and see some of the finest kart mechanicking to just get a kart out there, go and have a watch of the Water Swift final from last week. George Clark has mentioned P4 in the championship at the moment. George House P5. It's all a bit quiet around here at the moment, but Mick Barrett Racing we'll have a little talk about because George Edgar is the driver this weekend. I think we're going to be talking a lot about in the juniors. Fastest in both of the timed practice sessions that had been completed at least before the start of this build-up show. So George looking similarly back into the kind of form that we saw from him at GYG when he had that tremendous weekend. Nat Johnston struggling a little bit. I've not got the full story on what happened with Nat, but 23rd and 24th, but I'm sure, with another half day to go before we start talking qualifying, he will find the pace. Just thinking if there are any other big ones. Jack Buckley as well, a top 10 in seniors as well. We've talked about Fusion already, but let's have a little further dive into the tent. I think they've had a little bit of a setup change round here. I kind of like it. It's quite nicely laid out. Water Swifts. Right, let's go through them from left to right. The number 4 of Austin Newstead took the checkered flag on the road, lost it, of course, in the steward's room. Very quick today, 3rd and 2nd across the 2 sessions. What I will say as well, personally, I think the attitude from the Newstead camp off the back of Kart Masters last week has been commendable. Austin made a mistake last week, but he's owned it. He's taken on what's been told of him. I think Austin Newstead's going to have a really, really good weekend. He's going to have his head down, looking to continue to lead this championship. Yes, it's not the GP plate on that kart, but it is still a kart that could be wearing number 1 by the end of the year. Harry Williams back in form, I would say. In fact, let's have a little chat about Harry. Last week, Kart Masters, what was going through your head when you had goodness knows how many of the future mechanics around your kart?
Well, I didn't actually think we were going to make it, but I trusted them. We went back out, but I didn't honestly expect it to be that quick done to change an axle, but I'm really thank you to all the mechanics that helped me go back out in the final. But I was quite shocked how many people there was there on this. It was really chaotic. I just had to stay out the way because I would have gotten all of the way of all of the mechanics, and yeah, it was just chaotic.
In a way, was it quite a nice experience to have in terms of having those laps without as much pressure as starting towards the front? I mean, the pace was good. You had started a good 1/3 of a lap off the back of the pack, but you still caught up to them.
Yeah, I mean, the track order was still bent, but the pace was quite good, knowing the kart was bent. But yeah, it was a bit of release of pressure, but yeah.
Back into British this weekend. Sadly you weren't with us at PF International, so firstly it's really good to see you back here for Kimbolton. What's the plan? What are we thinking? What's the target for the weekend, would you say?
Well, definitely a podium, hopefully a win is the target. Just got to keep our level-headed and push forward.
What's the biggest thing you've learned today?
Well, just the track position. The toe is quite a lot around here, and we just need to go in quite hard, hold the brake and get a good exit off the corners, because most of the corners lead into a big straight. Good
stuff, Harry. We'll let you get back to it. Thanks for taking the time to have a little talk to us. Where did Harry finish in terms of the sessions? 6th and 3rd. The pace is there for Harry Williams. Ozzie Gibson, as mentioned, coming off a double win at PF International in terms of this championship. 4th and 10th earlier on today. And of course, we cannot come through these parts without talking about the new GP plate holder. So whilst it didn't go to the Austin Newstead number 4, it did go to Christian Kobe. 11th and 14th for the new GP plate holder. I think the biggest challenge for Christian this weekend, in a way, is going to be carrying that GP plate and the new attention that comes on a driver when that occurs. Of course, we've not just got the Water Swifts in these parts. Let's have a little talk about the bigger drivers. Let's start with the juniors. Aaron Richardson, 3rd and 3rd in both of his sessions today. 5th and 5th for Riley Cranham, continuing to be your championship leader in juniors. And Sukhmani Kira just outside the top 10 as well. Sukhmani had a really good run. I think was really unlucky last week at Kart Masters. Is knocking on the door for a big result, if you ask me. Seniors as well. Seniors actually a little bit further down perhaps than you would expect. Harrison Mackie 10th and 13th. Keep an eye on Dean Pedersen this weekend as well. Wildcard, the American, does a lot of racing with these guys out in Europe. So the 6:21 running this weekend inside the top 20. Right, let's carry on round because I've completely lost track of time. We've got probably about another 5 minutes before we have to sign off for today. In terms of Zach McDonald in the 280 looked very, very good earlier on today, in the top 5 in both of his sessions. So Zach McDonald could be in a position to pull a bit of a surprise here this weekend. DMS team, Jaden McElhenney goes into this one in the top 3 in the championship, 10th and 7th for the number 77 here today. John Foley Jr. as well there, 24th and 23rd in the sessions earlier on today. So DMS, Daily Motorsport, looking to continue having some really good results as they've done throughout the course of the season. They've been one of the pleasant surprises. Frank Morris, the number 55, we spoke to Frank at GYG in the top 11 in both of his sessions so far today, and that lovely paint job still on that one as well. S8 Racing, had a little chat with the guys running the TB karts early today. I don't think they're in at the moment, but a P9 for Reece Newburn earlier on today. Other highlights, MDL here, and again I think it's all a little bit quiet around this part of the paddock at the moment, but Mayan Patel had a big weekend at PF International, of course, took his first Wera Tools British Kart Championships win, and then followed it up the following week and took the E-plate at the Shenington Super Prix. So Patel for the MDL will not be running the number 10 this weekend, will be running the E. That was not a flash in the pan last week, a few weeks ago at PF International. Showed good pace at Kart Masters last week as well. So keep an eye on Mayan, 12th and 14th in the sessions today. BMR, I think the main person that we've got to talk about in BMR, who's not here at the moment, but his kart is, or one of his karts is, the 115 of Daniel Ferguson, 2nd and 4th in FP3 earlier on today. If you want a demonstration of how close it is in Water Swift this weekend, Ferguson was 0.01 off the time set by Davidson in FP3. I am really looking forward to qualifying tomorrow for the Water Swifts. It should be a really, really good show. Alexander De Benedictis is here as well. Both runs in the top 20 so far today. Alex, let's have a little chat.
Good.
All good here. How's it been for you? Solid day's practice?
No, not really. We've been struggling, or I've been struggling, so we've been changing loads on the kart. But I just need to find 2 tenths and then we'll be fine.
As I say, but I think you've been in the top 20 in at least the 2 sessions that I've seen. So that is it's not where you want to be, but it is a base from which you can build from, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see how we get on tomorrow. But honestly, I need to find 2 tenths because 2 tenths will put me in the top 10, and that's where I need to be. So see how we get on tomorrow.
I've noted that you're one of the ones running the newer the nostril nose, the Kart Republic nose. Do you find that has a good effect round here? Because it's quite a high. It's got some quite high speed corners around this circuit.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we've been testing both of them, and there's not much difference in between them. You've got to be doing at least 80 miles an hour to have some effect, because Dell's been trying it on the KZ, so I mean, doesn't make much of a difference in junior, I got to be honest.
No, that's fine. I like the honesty. Alex, we'll see you later on in the weekend. Dell to mention as well, Derek Morgan, another of the KZ2s who could be on for a really good weekend. Ran well here last year, so yeah, keep an eye on Derek Morgan in the number 6, particularly as he was second fastest in FP4. No Gus Lawrence in there at the moment, but Gus Lawrence really got his championship going last time, of course. Was telling me that the track's rubbering in, and he's getting there. It's not quite at peak condition yet. 5th and 7th for Gus earlier on today. Premium karting, we should mention as well, in a senior capacity. Again, we seem to be have been hitting all of the empty hoardings so far today. But Freddie Lloyd, Fast Freddie, second and fastest across his 2 sessions today. Well, actually, we'll have a little chat with Orion Meta, if that's okay, whilst Orion's here. Orion, tell us about your day. How's it been going?
It's a bit up and down. Like, the first few practices were okay, our speed was decent, but the last few I've had a crash, and I had a crash on the 4th practice, and just a bit inconsistent.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
No, that's the most important thing. It's a bit lonely in here at the moment, but you know, you're sharing an awning with some really top drivers. You know, your Lloyds, your Whitacombe's. How much are you learning from them? Because you know they similarly, you know, were in the Inter category a few years ago.
Yeah, well, especially Freddie Lloyd. Watching him on track, he's very quick.
And what are the hopes of the weekend? Where do you think you can finish?
Top 10, top 15 are the hopes, because yeah, we're making a lot of progress recently.
You are indeed. Ryan, best of luck for the weekend. Thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Glad to hear that Ryan is okay. Let's move a little bit further down. Let's talk about some of our Irish contingents. Ada O'Brien and Danny Dempsey coming up to my right, both running in Water Swift, of course. We'll see if we can have a little quick chat with the two of them. Danny, do you want to have a little chat with us? How's practice been going today?
Yeah, very up and down, but I'd say mostly up, but it's been great. Good.
Is this a circuit you enjoy?
I've never been here before, but yeah, it's been good. I like it.
What do you think's the hardest part of this circuit?
Just probably staying in the tow in the group and yeah, just getting a good lap in.
Good stuff. Let's have a chat with Ada as well. Ada, just pop out of the tent so we don't get the speaker. Driving once again in the Water Swift category. Has it been a good day for you?
Yeah, most of it's been good. There's some sessions that aren't too great, but most of it's been good.
And how tough is this circuit as well, especially when it's a little bit warmer than it was in recent weeks? Is it quite hard physically?
Yeah, it can be hard if you have a long session, but it's not as hard as other tracks.
What tactics can you let me into secrets for tomorrow? How you'll be attacking qualifying?
Just trying to get out early and stay in the tow.
Good stuff. Ada, thanks for talking to us. Best of luck for the weekend ahead. I say two drivers looking to get their best results of the weekend. I think we'll just have enough time to talk OMS. Do you want to have a quick mention of night measures? Spoke to Danny Curl earlier on today, asked him how is Knight doing after that big off at Kart Masters last week. Danny's told me that considering what happened, Knight's doing well. We won't see Knight here this weekend, but all of our best wishes to Night Measures that we see him back on track very, very soon. It was a pretty hefty off for him at the start of the Water Swift final last week. The drivers who are here for OMS, in terms of how their performances have been going so far today, Chester Fawkes, their top performer, double top 10, and another driver who, for those of you who perhaps weren't with us last weekend, will notice a slight difference. And the kart's not here, typically. Well, if it was there, you would see the E-plate on it. So Chester Fawkes took that at the Super Prix last week. The 148 of Oscar Kenny there on the jig, 13th and 15th earlier on today. Henry Clark, a little bit of pace to find, perhaps just inside the top 20. At the moment. We will finish our preview of the weekend with Jamie Green Racing. Great last week to see Isaac Sayer on the podium for Kart Masters. He's been a real sensation so far this season. The driver flying the flag for Singapore. 13th and 18th earlier on today in the sessions. Freddie Wood was looking good though. 9th and 6th in his sessions, and I think I just caught Freddie there. We'll have a little chat with him to wrap things up for today. Freddie, good day, if I'm right in saying. At least I've not seen how you did in your last session, but top 10s in the first two with the timers on. Feeling good?
Yeah, most of this, until the last one where I didn't get a tow, yeah, top 10, so that's good at the moment.
We've been talking with a couple of other drivers that have been talking about that tow and the high-speed nature, and that not totally, but there's parts of this circuit that are almost quite Euro in a way. Do you think that's going to be one of the strengths that you play on this weekend, the fact that you've had some good experience with dealing with high-speed corners and long straights?
Oh, it's not. They don't have that long straights, but they've got quite a lot of fast corners, flowing corners, compared to more of the slower corners. So I think it'll definitely help having the experience of Wera or Valencia, where you got a lot of fast, long corners. So I think that'll definitely help. And their toe will probably come in quite hard, because I think it's about 2-3 tenths maybe around here at the moment.
Indeed. What do you think you'll be working on between now and qualifying? What's still out there to be found?
I think just getting a toe, because in that one 12th but no toe, so that's 2 tenths quicker. So then, but the only issue is then you start having a battle, or then you get held up. So then you either can be safe or take the risk, but I think just need to practice it in the warm-up and get used to that qualifying spec.
Does the race pace, as the tyres start to wear in a little bit, if you are in the pack, does the signs of good race pace, is that there so far today?
Yeah, I think I just need to be a bit more. I'm quite consistent at the moment. I just need to get a bit close, like half a tenth a lap now. But I think this track's got so many bumps, but it's also quite abrasive, so the tyre will degrade a lot quicker than other tracks like probably PF.
Good stuff, Freddie. Thanks for the insight. We'll see you tomorrow, and I think we'll probably wrap things up there today for the build-up show. It's been a warm one. It's going to get warmer. All of the racing action from the X30 classes and KZ2, you can view that on the Alpha Live YouTube channel this weekend. We've got Karting UK's channel running this weekend as well. If you're at the circuit, don't forget we've got Chris McCarthy, Neil Cole in the house tomorrow. Purple Sector's giving some media training. You can sign up for the sessions. It's not mandatory to sign up for the sessions, but it helps with numbers, it helps with planning and knowing how many people are going to turn up. So do take that opportunity. We've seen some great interviews with some of our drivers here today, but if you want to get some tips from pros at the very, very top of the game, do sign up for that at the circuit tomorrow. For tonight though, thank you very much for joining us here at Kimbolton. Best of luck to all of the drivers for tomorrow. Event 7 kicks off with the first set of heats after lunchtime, then the full day of finals on Sunday as well. Keep it locked here on Alpha Live and Karting UK for more from the Wera Tools Motorsport UK British Kart Championships.